Hey everybody, Kim here with Lead Generation Source, and I just wanted to do, hopefully, a quick Q&A about the Kibo Code because it's the very last day. So if you're on the fence about it, I wanted to answer a couple questions that I've received, and hopefully this will help you make a decision. So the first thing I wanted to do is I just want to kind of review, if you missed my very long live the other day, I talked about online conversions. And this is the basics of online conversions are that somebody visits your site and then makes a purchase in the case of e-commerce. So with this, in this simplified version, you've got several challenges that you face in any given website, right? So the first one is driving traffic. So we're going to be using most likely Shopify for our websites. That's the most stable e-commerce platform and the one that they recommend. Aiden and Steve recommend for the Kibo Code. So what happens is when you're on Shopify, it's only a hosting service. So people don't just visit your site randomly like they would on Amazon. They may find your product, but even that's getting difficult these days. So how they get from here to here is a big challenge. And a lot of places are still doing Facebook ads. And while Facebook ads do work for some products and industries, the cost of the ads have increased so much that Aiden and Steven said they're not doing Facebook ads this time. You know, they're done with that for a while until Facebook reins in their expenses, I should say, how expensive it is. So in order to get traffic, they have a solution, and they have the solution is Google Ads and Bing Ads. And I will say that the other reason why you probably want to start with Shopify is that Shopify has a built-in platform, it has a built-in app where you can connect your Google Ads platform straight to your website. So it eliminates a lot of legwork that you'd have to do otherwise. So Shopify is nice for that. And then, of course, they'll have training on how to do all this and everything. So that's how they're going to be driving traffic initially, is with Google Ads and Bing Ads. And of course, later on, we'll have other traffic methods as well. But that right there solves the problem. I was looking at something, and I'll see if I can pull this over. But let's say that they were showing a drone in the sorry, I'm really tired. I've been up with urgent care and everything else. So I put in the word drone here to show you guys that this right here is the keywords everywhere. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so this is keywords everywhere. And so I put the word drone, and this shows how many searches there are and the cost per click. Now, obviously, if somebody's typing in drone, that's really general. So yes, I know that. Remain paused. So if they put in drone, and what happens is, let's say you have a drone and you want to compete for that keyword, you can see that this cost per click is only 37 cents. I honestly thought that drone would be much higher than that. So, I mean, it's general, so your conversions are going to be a little bit lower, but obviously we have better keywords and everything else than that. I just wanted to show you guys that this is much cheaper than doing a general drone, putting it on Facebook, and then going, oh, well, it's cost me $15 to get a click, or even $5 a click. You're paying $5 a click, and you're getting your conversions are at 1 to 2%. You end up spending a lot of money to build up an audience. And that's why we're not doing Facebook with the traffic, but instead Google Ads and Bing Ads give us it's more targeted and buyer traffic. So that's a big solution, right? That's something that a lot of people haven't done. And I haven't seen any recent alleged gurus coming out with decent Google Ads and Bing Ads training. In fact, I've taken several where I buy the course and within a week it's outdated because they made it 6 months before and they're not updating it anymore. And then, oh, just follow along, you'll figure it out. And sometimes it's really difficult to follow along when everything looks different and the things that they say to click on aren't there. So that Aiden and Steve won't do that. They'll obviously keep us updated. I've been in courses with them before where they have had to, redo a video because it changed, and they do it. They get it, and they get it to us within a day or two at the latest. It just depends on what changes. So the challenge number 2, and I only highlighted 3 core challenges here. So the challenge number 2 with an e-commerce website is product selection. So I know a lot of us, especially I'll say me, I'm very guilty of this. I first created a product and then pushed it out to the market in hopes that somebody would buy it. I kind of got lucky that I landed on Amazon because I don't think that it would have sold otherwise. In fact, it's very difficult for me to get in front of the right audience. But part of that is because of challenge number 3, which I'll talk about in a second. So the product selection is you want to find a product that is going to match with what people are searching for, and it needs to be something that converts well. So the Kibo Code solution is that you get 3 million you get access to 3 million vetted products. These are all drop shipped from the United States into the United States. That's what we're doing. We're selling to US and we're drop shipping in the US. So it's going to be from U.S. suppliers to U.S. citizens. And that's important because, one, the U.S. economy is the largest purchaser of everything. I mean, we spend a lot of money. So there's no reason why there's plenty of room for e-commerce to succeed in the United States. And that's a good reason to start there as well. So now, are they going to expand beyond the United States? Probably eventually, but they'll start here, and then maybe next year or later in the year, we'll expand out to other countries and other vendors. It just depends on, how things go. So the other thing is that you get 5 unique products that are yours. They're from their database, right? So they've selected the cream of the crop. They've put them into a database, and they said, okay, we're gonna give you 5 of these, and they're probably gonna randomly provide it to each of us. And I think you get to select them, but you get randomly shown different ones, and then you can either pass on it or select a different one or something. I'm not clear on how that's going to work, and it's not really that important, because if for some reason the 5 products don't work for you, they will give you 5 different products. If you're like, hey, I did everything you said and it's not working, show them, they'll make it right. So the product selection is really critical, because if you don't get the right products that are actually people are going to buy, then you're going to end up spending a lot of money on Google Ads where people aren't buying it. And so that's why they've made sure that they have plenty of products. And then we'll go into the next challenge, is the copying the images. So one of the challenges that I had, and I still continue to have with my e-commerce store, is that I basically just copied all my content off of Amazon, right? Because I created my listings on Amazon first, then I created a website, because I was only selling on Amazon to start with. And when I did that, I just copied the information I had on Amazon. Well, Amazon pulls information differently. So I was able to still get in front of people on Amazon. But if I were to put that on my website, which I did, it doesn't show up for the same keywords, right? And that's because when you're doing Google Ads, and I am not a Google Ads expert, so this may be where I went wrong, but when you're doing Google Ads, it pulls the keywords from your site, the keywords and the tags and everything else. And I never went in there and adjusted the content. And it wasn't until I learned more about Google Ads that I realized that, but I didn't have time to do everything. I mean, think about that. If you have, let's say you're even bringing in 20 products from somewhere, and you say AliExpress or something, and you have to do the images and all of the description and the keywords and the tagging, that's a lot of time. We know that because my sister and I have been trying to work with my brother, and my brother wants to do drop shipping from China, and we both are like, it's so annoying. Let's not do it. And he's like, well, I'll pick the products. You guys just do the description. And we're like, no, that's the hardest part, is the description. It really is. And the Kibo Code solution is that you get all of the images all the images. These are going to be converting images as well. So they're going to be images that you would automatically use in these ads. So you don't have to create stuff like you would have to do in Facebook, right? Facebook, you have to create the ad. Then if you have, you have to create, like alternate ads so that you have different selections, so you can test. I mean, there's so much that goes into it when it's not this. This is really easy. Google Ads automatically pulls the information from your site. So now what you do is you have the images, they're already done. You don't have to do them, right? That's one less thing you have to do. Then the copy, so the copywriting, the actual content on the page is already done, right? It's done. And these are U.S. suppliers. And so even if it's not provided by the manufacturer, somebody's gone through, put the information in there, and this will be something that will convert, and it will be able to match Google Ads and what the requirements are. So you're going to have the copies already done for the page. You got your tags and your keywords. All of that is done for you, right? You literally, you find the product in the database. So you go into the Kibo Code database, you find the product, and you just basically push it. You probably use a Chrome extension or something and say, hey, I want to put this in my store. Right. So they'll have their database, they'll connect to your store, and you can push it through to Shopify that says, oh, hey, yeah, this is the product that I want on my site. And it'll just fill everything in for you, and I would say maybe later on, if you're interested in specific marketing techniques, you may want to adapt some things. But to begin with, this is perfect. This is perfect to begin with, because you can get started very easily by driving traffic to converting products that already have the copywriting and the images and everything in place. This is like the perfect trifecta put together for success. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to off the bat go, oh, I'm going to make $1 billion in the first month, because the problem with running any type of paid ads is that you have to have money to run paid ads. So even if I think I would say in the best case scenario, your first couple of weeks are probably going to be a break even. And maybe even you spend a couple of bucks while you're experimenting. But even at a break even, if you were wanting to do $1 billion, you'd have to put $1 billion in, right? You have to do $1 billion in sales, you have to put $1 billion in if that's a break even scenario. So I would say that you still make sales and you may even make profit really off the bat. It just all depends. I can't make any promises on that. But I can say that based on the research I've done and what I've seen, it's very promising. And I think that I'm going to learn as much as I can so I can try to apply it to my other company. But I'm going to be building, at least, my sister and I have already talked about at least 3 or 4 different sites that we have plans for, depending on if the products are in there. But with 3 million products, I'm pretty sure they're in there. So this is just something that I wanted to just kind of do this Q&A, get it out there and let you know that, hey, it's closing. Today's Thursday. Thursday's the last day. If you're not in by midnight, probably Eastern time, then you're probably not going to be able to get in. I mean, they may make a few exceptions for people who had tried to get in and maybe had issues. But if you don't get in, you don't get in. Now, and you won't be able to get in. This is closing and it will be down for at least the whole year. And if they reopen it, it will not be the same program. So I want to emphasize that. When I did 100K, there were 3 versions of it, right? They were not the same program. Each one was different. Each one taught different elements. Each one had different resources. And I wasn't in the first one, so I can't speak to the first one. But the second one was focused on, we used WordPress. And then we did start with Facebook ads. And then the third one, we still did Facebook ads, but we used Shopify, and the whole system was completely different. Training was different, everything else. But people in each level were able to make money. So I'm going to tell you, they have, at this point, there's 0 plans to reopen any element of this, any revision of this. And last year's, they didn't reopen, and they have no plans to reopen. So just, if you have any interest in it whatsoever, and you think that it's going to be something that you want to do, I would recommend doing it. The only time I would say don't do it, well, there's a couple times. One is I would say don't do it if you're not going to be able to take action ever, let alone if you can't take action within like the first year, then, because I know some people will be like, oh, well, I'll get it and I'll work on it in 6 months. Yes, it'll still be available and you can do that, but it's going to be a lot harder for you in 6 months. Like those of us that buy this and we get started at the very beginning are going to have much better luck than those that start 6 months later. Now, does that mean you're not going to have luck? I don't know. Ask me in 6 months. But if you're like, oh, hey, I just can't commit to doing anything, then don't get it, because it'll just depress you that you've spent the money and you're not making your money back because you're not doing anything. So if you want to do this, you need to say, hey, I'm going to take action. This is going to be one of my priorities. Now, if you have a full-time job, this is still something that you can do. It's only going to take, I would say they said 5 to 10 hours. And if you end up doing less, then you end up doing less. That's just the way it is. So I wanted to show you guys real quick while I wrap this up, that for those of you who have purchased and those of you who are going to purchase, if you purchased, so those who have purchased through my link already know this, or probably know this, but I have several bonuses specifically, right? So I'm doing these visibility and publicity campaigns. Now I have that I'm going to run 2, but we may I may rethink this and we'll see, but I'm going to run at least 2 for everybody. And these are visibility and publicity campaigns, or branding and visibility campaigns. Those are 2 terms I use interchangeably. I charge $1,500 a month for each one of these. So like if I were running something for 2 months for someone, that would be $3,000 I would literally charge. So that's a pretty good value right there alone. And so that's the first one. And that'll help over the long run. That's not an immediate return. So it's just where you get your website mentioned on places like USA Today and lots of blogs and everything else. And like I said, this is really powerful for search engine optimization and ranking, but it's also powerful for showing that, oh, hey, you can go, hey, look, as featured in USA Today. And that's kind of like that credibility, right? That gives you that trust factor. So I'm doing that. And then I'm going to do a personal coaching call. And I put on here a 30 to 60 minute call, but those of you who have already signed up through me know that I'm available. I try to be available regularly. And if we're talking on the phone and it runs 2 hours, I have no problem with that. It's just got to be, sometimes I may have to limit it. And this is going to be, that's just a guaranteed, at least you get a dedicated 30 to 60 minute call that's dedicated specifically to whatever you want to talk about, and preferably for something that for coaching wise. But we're going to probably do some groups, if for those of you who purchase under me, where we'll have a small, tiny little group where we're getting together and we are, helping each other out and stuff. So bonus number 3, and you may not want to do bonus number 3 because this may be harder to figure out, but if you are interested, I will definitely do my part to figure it out. And that is, you can resell the EP Laser products. And that's my company's EP Laser. Well, one of my companies. And I sell basically Christmas stuff. So we have time to figure it out, but I don't know how their system is or how we would be able to do that. But if we're using Shopify, I know there's a variety of ways we can. So this is one that you'll be able to resell mine, just like I would be a vendor for you or a supplier for you, and you'll be able to resell them. And I do pretty good pricing on that. So your margins are pretty good. Because I try to do it basically at cost, which is a pretty good margin, like I said. So bonus number 4 is a Google My Business workshop. Now, Google My Business is primarily for local businesses that have a physical location or a service area. So you go out, like when we had a security company, we had a physical location, or we worked from our home to begin with, but we had a service area. So we went out to a specific range. That is what Google My Business is for. However, there's sort of a gray area for e-commerce, and I'll do a workshop on it so you can decide one way or the other. And then I'll also tell you what you need to do if you want to do this. And this is great because a lot of e-commerce searches are going to Google or are showing up in Google My Business, basically the maps, right? So you'll type in some sort of product and all of a sudden you're getting map results driving you to Walmart. They're saying, oh, go to Walmart and get it. And you're like, I don't even carry that. If you type in certain things and stores are showing up, and I'm sure it's a testing thing, but it's been an increasing test that's going on from Google. So I just want to make sure that you understand that this is kind of a gray area because we don't technically have a service area, but you can choose one way or the other. I mean, the worst case that happens is they shut down your Google My Business, right? That's it. No big deal. You still have your website. You still have every type of traffic method. All right. So bonus number 5 is access to, I'm calling it new automated marketing channels. And basically what this is I'm going to set up my own, a whole separate a set of assets, digital assets. So it'll be like, a Facebook account, and I probably won't do Instagram purely because that's difficult to do, but a Facebook account, bookmarking sites, different social media properties, blogging sites and stuff like that, where I can, when you post something new, so you post a new product, I'll be able to push it out to all of these areas, to all these properties, and it'll basically create links as one thing, and it'll also drive traffic as people find that within those properties. So if you don't have your own properties, perfect. If you do, then it'll just be more social proof. So these are separate online assets, and you'll be able to, and trust me, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is tell me what your website is, and I can do the rest, because I just need to know what the website is, and that's your on Shopify, because I have to have a certain code for it. But I can pull all of that without you even needing to know how to do it. Bonus number 6. So for those of you who don't know, I've been testing Pinterest, and one of the most powerful Pinterest marketing elements is the Tailwind tribes. And I'm in Tailwind. I'm going to stay in Tailwind. I love it. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is I'll still be doing Tailwind. So I will schedule them. I will, first of all, I will create 5 pins specifically for 5 products that you select. Probably, this is funny because I created this before I think they said 5, that we would get 5 products. So that's kind of funny. I did that. But, or maybe I heard it and then did. I don't remember. But you'll have I'll create 5 pins for you and do it. You'll just say, hey, these are the products I want you to push. And I'll do all of it. Then if you have other pins for other products or the same product or whatever, then you can also, submit those to me, and I will submit, let's see, what did I say? I'll submit up to 5 more pins each month through the end of December to tribes specifically. So obviously I'll post them onto all of my boards, and I have like 12,000 followers. So that it does get some sort of movement sometimes. Pinterest is really weird. But anyway, so I know how to do all of this and how to set all this up. So I'm willing to allow you to send me 5 more pins if you want to do it after the first 5, and then I'll submit them to my tribes and to all my boards and everything else. And so this can help. Pinterest and e-commerce are actually pretty good together. So I've come up with a pretty good system on this, and I think it'll be worthwhile for you. So as you can see, we'll probably have other stuff as well, but I wanted to make sure that those 6 are definite ones that I will definitely do. And then as we have other things, I may bring out more resources. I may kick up more different things depending on what we decide to do and what we come across. And if, if one of you is having luck with search engine optimization, I may say, hey, let's do this and kick it up a notch and, and offer that as an additional bonus. And then somebody else may be like, oh, hey, I'm having Pinterest luck. And I may go, oh, hey, let's go ahead and increase the pins. Because here's the thing my thing is that the reason why I promote this stuff, and specifically this one, is that I really do believe that it's a good opportunity. Right? I mean, I know there's going to be challenges. We have to all admit that there's going to be challenges. There's going to be something that you're going to run into, but this is almost all gone. So you may have a challenge when you're setting up your Shopify store where you say, oh, hey, I have to put this code on here for this specific, this app that I have to put on here. Can you help me? And I'll be like, yeah, let me help you because I've done that kind of stuff before. Now I will say you probably won't need my help, because Aiden and Steve's training is usually very good and they have like step-by-step on everything. But in the event that you're like, oh, hey, I'm getting stuck or it's not working, then we can hop on one of my many software platforms and we can do a, screen share, and you can show me what's going on or give me control and I can say, hey, this is what you need to do. Or I can just do it for you. If that's what we have to do, this is what we have to do. So for those who purchase through my link, I appreciate the support and I am more than willing to help you succeed as well. And I think that we should, make sure that we're in touch with each other and on a regular basis. And you have to understand, I do have a child that is very needy. She's 7 and she was at urgent care today. And she's had medication for the last week trying to deal with allergic reactions. And it's been kind of a nightmare at the same time as I'm trying to juggle everything, but I do it. And I still dedicate enough time. If I have to sit in the waiting room and talk to you on the phone while we're walking through something, I'll do it. Right? She'll probably help too, by the way. So anyway, so that's it for the Kibo Code Q&A today, because it's the last chance. If you haven't seen any of the webinars, if you don't know anything about it, reach out to me with your questions. But today is literally the last day. So if you're not going to get it, that's okay. I have no hard feelings from people that don't purchase things. That's your choice, right? I just want to say that if you do and you purchase through my link, you get the bonuses and you're going to get some support from me. And I will say Chrissy as well, but she's very busy with her business. So, that may be very limited from her because she's very busy. So anyway, so that's it. Let me know if you guys have questions last minute and you can't hop onto one of the webinars. There should be a link on this page right below this video that says, sign up for the last webinar. If you can't get on one of them and you have questions, then you can just message me through Facebook. So that's the best way. And I'll make sure there's a link also to my personal profile below, because the personal profile, if you send it to the page, Facebook will probably not tell me for a week that I have a message or show it to me. It's just really weird. I don't know why. So anyway, so that's the way it goes. And that's it. So I am actually going to go see if I can get my daughter to bed soon, because it's really, really late and she's got to take some more medicine, then head to bed. And then I'm going to go to bed. And if you guys have questions, if I don't respond immediately, just give me some time, because I haven't had much sleep this week. But I am here for you if you guys have questions and want to make a final decision. Just, hit me up with any questions, and then make sure you click on my link if you want to get my bonuses. Thanks, guys. And remember, probably next week or the week after, we'll start doing local marketing stuff, which applies to everybody, but it'll have local marketing tweaks. So, all right. See you later. Thanks, guys.